Hello, and welcome back to the Yami Shibai discussion. I'm your host, Ghosty, joined once again by the strong, handsome, and charming Germ himself.
Oh, me?
That's your one yearly compliment as a man. I hope you enjoy it.
Right at the end of the year. Sweet. Maybe I'll be back to back.
A little treat for you. Just a little treat.
I was
Good
worried
to be
someone else
back.
joined us and I didn't even realize.
Oh, and also so humble. Blessing the people once again with another Yami Shibai discussion. Step right up and have a look. It's time for Yami Shibai.
You surprised me. I wasn't ready to go right away.
I was trying to keep it surprising. Keep the fear in you.
You've succeeded.
Episode 6 or 7, titled
Seven?
The Neighbors.
No, this might be 8. Do you want me to double check right before we go?
It's fine. Just like put the number 8 on the screen if I say it incorrectly. Or just
8.
dub it, be like 8.
8. 8.
We join our main character hosting a welcoming party for her new apartment. They are drinking and having a good time, and her friends compliment the place. You know it's a good party if they have pizza and a salad, but nobody's eaten any of the salad.
Who would eat that salad? There's pizza.
It's just there to make you feel better.
Like, I think I might have had some of that salad.
One leaf, a single leaf. She mentions the apartment was cheap as well. Her friends joke her new apartment is too good and something must be wrong with it. When I
We
saw this image, my first reaction was that it was AI generated because the eyes weren't aligned properly. But
this
then
was
I
made.
realized she was supposed to be drunk.
It was made before AI drawing was widely used.
Yeah, just barely. Just barely.
No, I think this is a few years before
In the
that was
grand scheme
used.
of things, that's not that long.
Yeah, wouldn't be unrealistic for like if some of the people who made open source, was it? No, that wasn't it.
Yeah.
OpenAI.
Oh, yes. Well,
Yeah,
those are both terms used in
but the first
AI
AI that came
technology.
out, they have a name like that, don't they?
Uh, OpenAI was like a big AI lab
Yeah.
that makes ChatGPT, and they did make some stuff early. The early image generation models weren't really from OpenAI.
Oh, okay. Because I remember seeing early examples and everyone like being like, "What the heck?"
The first one I remember seeing was Google Deep Dream. Do you remember that?
No.
It would generate like really psychedelic stuff, like a bunch of like dog faces, like in a
They should have called it Nightmare.
yeah, yeah. It was like a an acid trip of some kind.
Now I'm tempted to ask an AI to draw a shirt with dog faces on it and see what it does.
It would probably do pretty well.
It
That's
probably would.
probably got many examples in the data set.
A shirt with real dog faces.
Even then, I feel like it'll do pretty well.
Yeah, it probably would. It's too good now. Well, in some departments.
Not in eyeballs. Actually, it's getting better at that too.
I found the main way, I don't know if you've heard this before, of telling if a picture is AI or not is the lighting.
That's probably somewhat accurate. Maybe for like photos,
It doesn't
but
do bad job of lighting. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is the whole scene will be similarly lit. Few dark spots.
the difficult thing is that, well, that may have been true at one point. These things change so fast. I can't say if that would still be accurate or not.
At the point of us making this video, it's the main way I can just immediately pick up and go, oh, that's AI created. Then I look, and most of the time it is.
There's been a few things at this point that I have looked at and didn't realize they were AI created immediately.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot better fingers now than it used to be.
Yeah, I got way better at it.
Yeah. Do you ever see background characters? It sometimes does such odd things with them.
Uh,
I
I
would say
haven't really
more in the
noticed.
emotional category.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
found at least last year, and like things have changed a lot since then. It really likes to do like YouTube face, where they've got like a like this kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Maybe there's like a bunch of images from YouTube thumbnails in the data set or something.
Probably. Easy place to scrape them.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's continue. Her face is hilarious though. Her one tooth and like almost cross-eyed.
Yeah. She's pretty wasted.
Her friend on the right's like, "You okay?" But don't worry, she's gonna get some good rest, right?
They hear scratching noise next door and worry their partying is too hard, so call it quits for the night. Her friends leave, one needing some help to walk home, and our main character walks them out of the apartment building.
I wonder which one needs help. I have heard that's a serious problem in Japan. There's a above for country-wise, it's above average for alcoholics.
I could see that. You want to unwind at the end of the day?
Yeah.
There's also much more options of places to drink there, and it's much cheaper.
Sake is more alcoholic than like a beer or a wine, right?
I would say.
Yeah.
I actually think beer is the most popular thing in Japan from my outside perspective, though.
That makes sense. It's very popular everywhere.
As our main character walks past the neighbor's door, she notices a small mail slot slowly opening. We see a hand in need of some serious TLC and an eye peeking out at her.
We've all been on the other side of this door, peeking through the mailbox of people going by.
No bills.
Oh, that's my neighbor. Oh no, they saw me.
She can't believe what she just saw. This scares her understandably, so her friends call out to her, pulling her away from the mailbox. She says goodbye to her friends. Scene was not necessary, but it's fun, so
it's so
Germ
fun.
included it. She's going hard.
It's not, but it kind of looks like that art style where you take a real picture and you color over it.
Oh yeah, it kind of does.
Yeah, it's not.
I don't think it is either.
But it reminds me of that. Maybe it's her face.
Yeah, it's the mouth.
Yeah.
Something with the mouth. She looks up at the next door neighbor's apartment, feeling worried.
What a weird angle this is.
It almost looks like a giant tombstone behind her.
It does look like a tombstone, but I was also thinking about this like 2 apartments in this whole building.
I think it's like we're angled like this way, and that's the second floor, and the gate is behind her. So like she go through the gate, there'd be 2 apartments on the ground floor we can't see.
Yeah,
and then she go upstairs, and there's the 2 apartments.
That does make sense, but it's weird looking.
It is a weird perspective.
Yeah.
She heads back to her apartment, walking by the mystery door.
But from this perspective, it looks like there should be some like more apartments on her left.
Yeah, it was just like a blank wall.
Yeah, like if we go back,
further away
it's a wall. Like there's just a wall there.
I guess that was easiest.
That's fine. I just think it's weird. Interesting choices they make.
As she walks by the door, it opens up with a bright light coming out. She wonders if she could introduce herself, but they were creepy, so she's not sure.
Fuck that.
Push the door shut and go into your room. The light blinds us, then we hear a click.
Click.
We find ourselves in darkness, straining to see. We hear the scratching now, but it's much closer. The moon lights up the room, and we see many people scratching the walls.
Sorry, I forgot about more than one side in here.
Was that a good sound effect?
Oh,
or did it sound
I could hear that. Your microphone also like binged, but like the scratching was effective.
That's my notification. Or it could be a scratch at the wall.
Oh.
The whole apartment's full of these people scratching at every surface.
Man, that window must be tough.
Yeah, what the heck?
Maybe it's the curtains that she's scratching at? Not very effective either or.
We hear a noise above us and look up to see some feet.
Oh,
She's got her dogs out.
I'm happy they're serving something fresh.
A giant head drops down saying, We found a new friend. We hear a woman talking. From the context, we know it's a person on the phone, announcing she's from Morishima Realtors, saying they will help out single women to find an apartment for one. While she talks, we see there's a new person in the apartment scratching. It's the main character. We end with looking at the whole apartment. People are still scratching with a pair of legs swinging in the middle. The end. Whoa. What'd you think?
The drunk scenes were a lot of fun.
Yeah, they were kind of unexpected, eh?
Mm. They kind of went for the classic hanging, long-haired black-haired girl.
Yeah, it's a ghost we've seen many, many times before, and I'm sure we will again.
I'm sure everyone's aware of this, but very popular in Japan.
That's kind of like the Japanese equivalent of like the bedsheet ghost.
Mm.
So it's like if there was an American horror and we kept seeing the bedsheet ghost with the eyes cut out over and over again.
Did you ever see? There's a movie that came out recently where it's a bedsheet ghost. A serious, like indie movie.
I didn't see this.
It's not scary. Well, I guess in one way it's scary, but like he gets stuck in place after he dies in their apartment.
Mhm.
Actually, it's like a small house, and then she moves away, but he's stuck there, and he ends up being in the house and just watching everything change, until one day a apartment building buys the space and destroys his house, and then he's like in an apartment building. He doesn't remember who he is or why he's there, but he knows he's trapped there.
Wow, that's depressing. Holy.
Mhm.
I'm never watching this.
A very artistic movie. That's questions about life and passing memories.
Damn.
And it's a
That's
bedsheet
heavy.
ghost. Spooky.
Just to lighten the mood back up.
He's like, boo, my
Uh,
emotions.
there's probably a scene with like some indie folk song, and he's just like sitting there in the silence. It is an
There
indie
is,
movie.
I don't know what the music was. I don't remember. But I do remember a scene where he's looking out the like giant apartment window, where it's like the apartment building. He's out in the hallway looking out the window, and it's like
Mhm.
slowly zooming away while he's looking out, looking like you can tell he's sad.
Did you watch this full film?
Yes,
Nice.
it was okay.
Truly are a film buff.
I try. I do think it has some big things to say about life, but I don't. I wouldn't
Mm.
advise it to anyone.
I always have a hard time recommending people extremely deep and hardcore movies because I'm like,
Mm.
that's gonna mess you up emotionally a little bit. I can't really recommend going through that trauma.
If you're in the right mood, it's a good experience. But like, it's gonna kick you while you're down if you're not in the right mood.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to put
Can't
someone
have that
through
evil.
that. Yeah,
Can't have that evil on me.
yeah. Uh, okay. Some theories.
Yes.
Do we think the apartment owners are in on it?
The way the phone call went, it seemed like yes, which is kind of weird because it was like a paranormal ghost. So I don't know why, like what the connection between her and the people renting the apartment would be, but it felt like it, didn't it?
It really did.
It seemed like they were trying to pick single women specifically to live there to be victims of the ghost.
But they didn't have the song.
All the single ladies?
All the single ladies.
I think it's probably copyright, but
Probably.
maybe if it wasn't.
And there was definitely only women in the apartment. If we take a look,
Yeah, that part was definitely true.
yeah,
And she specifically said single women in the
on the phone call for sure.
yeah. So there's probably some kind of deeper meaning to that, but I,
We'll
I
get
was
to that.
also
We'll get to that.
I was also kind of I was kind of annoyed at how the story starts with them hanging out and then
Mm,
she just gets like pulled into the room, just like a
yeah.
magic scene snap
Get
change. Like this
over
is
here.
yeah, that was I kind of thought that was like a cop out as far as like storytelling wise.
I guess they have to be fast and quick with their decisions. It
Hmm.
would have been more interesting if she saw the door open and was like, "Is everyone okay?" and walked in on her own volition.
Hmm. Yeah, it was kind of missing like some kind of motivation. It ended up just kind of becoming uh woman gets apartment and then
Apartment eats
magically
woman.
she's in a black
Yeah,
room. Like
that's
there was
yeah.
not really there was no build up. It just happened.
Listen, this is the classic woman gets apartment, apartment eats woman, apartment looks for new woman. It's just like it's
As it
classic.
goes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like
I
no
enjoyed the
joke.
party
Okay,
scenes though.
yeah, I was about to bring up the party scenes because the pizza looks so good, right?
Now, it's got some green stuff on it
I
though.
think that's
I
green
don't know about
pepper. That's there's pepperoni on it. Could be tomato, but probably pepperoni.
that. Yeah, they were vibing.
I'm not a huge fan of stuffed crust, so I'm happy to see it's not stuffed crust.
I feel like stuffed crust kind of fell off, to be honest with you. I don't even know if you can get it at Pizza Hut anymore.
No idea. I was never a big fan of it. It was fine.
It was a gimmick, honestly.
Yeah.
But I did also once see stuffed crust that was cheese and hot dogs. So it was like you get to the end of your piece of pizza, and then you eat a hot dog.
You like you eat the front and you're like, oh, hot dog.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's hilarious. Why eat one meal when two will do?
Oh, you know what? One American stereotype, though, is that Americans eat a lot of hot dogs, and I don't think it's actually true.
I think it matters where you are. Like if you're going to like a stadium, like a football game.
Oh yeah, at sports games, they're gonna be choking down the glizzies. But I
Yeah.
think on like a regular basis, Americans are not eating that many hot dogs.
Interesting. Do you think the stereotype of eat a lot of meat is true?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's kind of tied to that myth as well.
that's true. I think Americans just eat what they like, and humans tend to like meat. So
Yeah, humans do
so it
love
goes.
meat.
It's like the land of extremes, to be honest. Like either people eat extremely healthy and like only eat salads, or they just like eat the craziest pizza hot dog
I
combinations.
knew you were bringing that back.
There's no in between.
The land of the pizza hot dog.
I actually saw that in Europe for clarity, but they called it
Yeah,
the American pizza. That
they
was the
would.
name of
They would call it that.
it.
Okay, back on topic. Do we think this is a ghost or a monster?
It was more like a typical ghost,
Like we do see the feet,
and the
and
face is so ghost.
yeah, but the face is so big.
Yeah, it is kind of weird how it just comes down like that too, isn't
Yeah,
it? And it's like upside down
yeah, I don't know.
relative to where the neck would be if it came down. Like
If someone asked me to put money on it, I would probably say ghost.
it kind of seemed like the spirit of a woman that committed suicide in the apartment or
Yeah,
something. That's what the hanging feet are telling me.
I think it's heavily hinted towards that.
But I don't see the relation between that and the realtor still. So,
Yeah, we can talk more in themes and metaphor about that,
mm,
but like I don't have any solid theories either.
mm.
It's just a fun like, why would they do that?
Yeah, it doesn't make that much sense. I don't think.
Oh, so in the mailbox slot, do you think
Mhm.
that was the monster's hand or a victim's hand?
Oh yeah, it's well.
I would, I have a bet which way around it is.
If the fingernails are destroyed, it's got to be a victim's hand, right?
That's what I was
Because they've
thinking
been
too.
clawing at the walls. But it looks like the ghost's face, maybe.
I don't think we get. Let's look at the eye, and let's check out the ghost's eye. Hmm.
Probably not actually. I think victim, even though they're both kind of blue.
Yeah, but it's like different. But then again, it's like looking outside in the day. It could really be either, but I would bet on
Yeah,
victim.
yeah, it seems like victim to me.
Yeah. So in this entire episode, there was not a single man.
That's the way I like it.
I don't remember if that's happened before or not.
I've never noticed it before.
Yeah, I noticed it because I was looking in the part of the dark apartment, like, oh yeah, they're all women.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Just interesting observation. Even like the woman on even the person on the phone was a woman, like both of them.
Oh yeah, even the realtor.
Yeah.
Oh, that is interesting.
Anything else you want to say about the episode?
No, that's about it for me. I just found the abrupt scene change kind of annoying.
Yeah,
My main takeaway.
it was kind of a cop out.
Yeah,
I don't blame them for that though, because they do have like 4 minutes to tell a whole entire story.
well, it's up to them to pace it better.
Might be a little more, might be a little less. I have to time
Hmm.
that sometime. Okay, let's do some comments. I'll read the first one. Oh, that name, Ilquira. Quira?
Close enough.
Wow. I wonder how many more will fit in that room. That's a great question. So I think if you clown car this scenario, she could fit like 50 more, right?
I think clown carring the scenario is not that realistic, though.
What do you think? Do you think she'd want space for them all to like to have a little more room, or
I don't know. I don't think they've thought that far ahead.
what if she like carpets the bottom and like sticks them on the roof, Like
Could not even guess. Fallen Entity said, and that's why I stay away from all my neighbors. Don't care who you are. You might have a closet full of monsters or worse.
Hey, she didn't have a closet full of monsters.
True. And the person that wrote this comment is probably the neighbor that everybody else is scared of.
Oh.
Boom, roasted.
So this comment came out in 2017, which means
Mm-hmm.
the episode. I think this was soon after the episode came out.
Mm-hmm.
So like, uh, the AI image generation came. Sorry, this jumps back way back in our conversation.
Oh, yes.
Uh, that that came out like 2003, right?
I don't know of anything 2003. I think what I was thinking
Yeah.
of would have been more like 2014, 2015,
Okay, this does sound earlier than the stuff I was aware of.
but it was really crappy. Wouldn't have been able to make images like this.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking though. Like when they were first announcing what's out now, and then they released it. It was like,
That would have been
was
more like 2019.
I think that's too early. Maybe when they announced it.
I know there was definitely image generation in 2019. It wasn't that good yet, but
Yeah, but the first good one I think only came out like last year, or the year before.
I would say 2022,
Should we
roughly.
confirm or?
Nah, let's just let it ride.
Yeah, who knows? This from Keijo Senpai 69. Nice. The characters look like the ones that appear in billboards and advertisements in Japan, like a silly face. That's one get rich scheme that keeps on giving. The ending left us hanging.
Oh, the get rich is like because you keep renting the apartment.
See,
I
that's why
see.
I didn't bring
Collecting
it up,
deposits.
like because I knew about this comment coming.
Mm.
It's an interesting idea. I don't think they do it.
That never occurred to me at all. It feels like it's got to be something more devious than that.
Yeah, I don't think it's an efficient business model to keep getting people coming in. You want one safe, consistent person in there.
Yeah, you could. Well, I mean, you keep collecting deposits, 3 months rents advance,
Yeah,
once a week. That's pretty good.
yeah, maybe.
But I don't know. It seems like a lot of trouble to go to get that.
Would you rather keep paying someone to find people to put in that apartment, or just one consistent person who does not too much of a crazy person, just keeps paying the bill?
Depends how many months rent in advance they pay.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's interesting observation. I don't know if this is true or not. That the characters look like advertisements and billboards in Japan.
Because they're having fun drinking beer. Yeah, kind of. All the scenes are like, yeah, they're doing YouTube faces.
Yep, that's it. Yep. That's the last comment. But now we move on to a germ tangent.
That's most of what this episode has been already.
So where do you that's true. Where do you think this tangent will go?
Beer industry
Oh,
advertisement.
that would have been a good idea, but no. Weird apartment buildings.
Oh, I've been to this one before.
Yep,
It's in Montreal.
yep, this one's in Canada.
Yeah, this is a cool one.
Yep.
Habitat 67. Awesome name too.
There was a artist that made it, right? Like
Yeah, if I remember correctly, it was made for Expo 67. Yes, which was
oh,
like at the time, World's Fairs were a big thing where people from all over the world would come visit when you had a World Expo. They're still
cool.
kind of popular, but it was like crazy big back then. And this was like a vision for what apartments in the future would look like.
Seems inefficient myself.
I think it looks cool.
It looked cool, but it seems inefficient as like a thing you build everywhere for apartments.
There's got to be a purpose to it. I'm trying to skim through and see if like there's some supposed advantage to building this Minecraft like apartment building.
I know when I skimmed it, I didn't see a like reason why.
Yeah, I don't see any reason specifically. It's cool though.
And then we have this one,
That looks like Norway or something to me.
the wave
Denmark.
in
Close.
Denmark.
Yeah, it's pretty cool too. Actually, I like it.
This one I don't think has as many downsides as the last one because I just imagine like building these all over the world.
Mm.
And
I
again,
mean,
I don't think I don't think this was the purpose of this one.
no, this one is just like a one-off. It looks cool. There'd be no
Yeah.
reason to build a bunch of ones that look
Oh
like
no,
this.
no problem.
I'm amazed it took 11 years to build.
Because it was held up by the 2008 financial crisis.
Ah, that explains it.
Yeah, it was a big deal. And then there's this one.
Where is this? It's pretty cool.
It's called the Cube House in the Netherlands.
Dutch also.
Yeah.
It's Dutch and Danish close together.
Yep.
You can book one on Airbnb.
Then we have this monstrosity. Look at that.
That looks like German or Eastern European.
It does, right?
France. Huh.
Not too far off.
The balcony. Are there supposed to be balconies? All those things sticking off.
Yep.
Oh, it's cool. Kind of ugly, but it's cool.
Yeah, I
It's
wouldn't
like a
want this
hairbrush.
everywhere, but it's nice to have it like one place. And that's it.
That was a fun tangent. I get to review architecture. Well, 10 out of 10. Let's go.
I think I'd rate that last one 9 out of 10. Please don't repeat.
Which was your favorite?
Probably the wave one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I like Habitat 67.
I like Habitat 67.
It's the most ambitious.
Yeah. But it looks like something I would build.
It's like you're trying to draw what an apartment would look like.
Yeah, I think it's like this.
I think it's really cool though.
Oh, I'm not saying it's not. Something really cool about the wave. So, any themes or metaphors from you?
I think probably the most on the nose metaphor is something like single women in their 20s are vulnerable to all types of dangers, such as being taken advantage of by predatory apartments renters
Oh,
that are
renters.
trying
I
to
was like,
steal their
thought
money.
the room was like eating her.
No, no,
Predatory apartments.
yeah,
That is true, honestly.
people in their 20s in general are vulnerable to many of the world's dangers.
Yeah, that's true. Think you're an adult, but you're not yet.
Yeah, exactly.
You're starting.
What do you think?
I think it's about just bad neighbors. You never know if your neighbors are good or not,
That's
and
true. You
or
never know who's on the other side of the wall.
it might also be about just like the history of the apartment building. Like you never know what's happened there.
That's true. In this case, her next door neighbor had committed suicide.
Yep.
But
We don't know for sure, but it's strongly implied.
maybe I'll start scratching my walls and scare my neighbors.
Maybe it could be something about like depression, like spreading from person to person too.
Maybe, yeah, the darkness inside the apartment you don't see.
So, spit out the score.
It's a 3 for me. I didn't like it that much. The story was kind of like one piece and then tacked on horror at the end. It didn't work that well for me. So,
That's fair.
and the metaphor didn't really go crazy for me either. So it's just a 3.
Yeah. Yeah, the metaphor was weak. It wasn't really obvious what it was, if it was any of that. But like I maybe I went too lenient, but I gave it a 7. Like I was between 5 and 6, then I talked myself into a 7 because it kind of has an
Right.
interesting like antagonist for that like ghost monster thing,
Hmm.
and it is
You're a
creepy
generous
like
guy.
not knowing what's going on in the apartment next door to you.
That's true. I like that concept also.
Yeah, you know, the scratching. It's not the rats.
Creepy.
That gives it a respectable 10. Yeah, like middle of the way. I think that's fair.
You balanced it out. Yeah.
Yeah. You went a little low. I went a little high.
Hey, I
That
think you were a bit generous, to be honest with you.
you might have been a little low. That's how it goes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next episode is called "If You Want to See Ghosts."
Hmm. Sounds like every episode of this show. I guess there's gonna be some like teenage thing where they dare like, oh, if you want to see ghosts, go to this creepy old place.
Stick your head in the toilet.
Yeah, and then they'll go and they'll see ghosts
No.
as promised.
People are involved. You were right in that case.
There you go. All
They're
that
not
once again.
teenagers. They don't need to go anywhere.
Maybe not then.
Yeah. Though you were very close in one of your lines when you said, "Do this if you want to see ghosts." You're close there.
I guess that was a safe bet.
Yep. Thank you for joining me, Ghosty.
It's been real. Let's lock this one in.
Bye.